What does it look like when the colour takes over the canvas? Something like this? Or this? Or maybe even something wilder like this? This early 20th century movement started in 1905 in France and lasted for just a couple of years. It was short-lived but had a huge impact on the art of the 20th century. It's called Fauvism, and today we'll find out why this modern art movement is so special. If you'd like to see more art episodes, be sure to give us a like and tell us which topics you want to learn about next. Fauvism got its unusual name when the art critic Louis Vaucel described these artists as les fauves, meaning wild beasts. The art critic saw their works in an exhibition placed next to classical marble sculptures and called the scene Donatello among the wild beasts. And despite the fact that it wasn't a compliment he was giving them, the label stuck, and today we know these artists as Fauvists. The best-known Fauvist art was created by three amazing artists: Henri Matisse, André Derain, and Maurice de Vlaminck.
So, Fauvists showed a firework of colors in their works, and they painted landscapes and cityscapes, but they also created portraits. And when we look at those bold, vibrant colors that they used in their works, we see different colors than what we would see in real life when looking at those places and those objects that they painted.
Fauvists ditched the realistic values and showed the colours they wanted to show, and not the ones you see in nature. Colour no longer had a representational purpose. The ways in which Fauvists used colour were inspired by the art of magnificent post-impressionists and neo-impressionists like Van Gogh, Gauguin, and Seurat. Now let's take a look at some of the amazing Fauvist artworks. Another great Fauvist artwork is called Charing Cross Bridge, and it was painted by André Derain. Just a few years before Derain, the famous impressionist Claude Monet painted the same bridge. By comparing the works of these two artists, we can clearly notice the new tendencies that Fauvism brought to art. In Derain's work, the Parliament of London is painted green, the River Thames is shown yellow and blue, the sky is pink, and the shapes seem almost abstract, while Monet painted the scene in a typical impressionist way by focusing on the effects of light. Compared to Monet's, Derain's London certainly seems less grey and less moody. Let's take a look at a Fauvist portrait. Maurice de Vlaminck painted his fellow Fauve, André Derain. We can see that this portrait doesn't look realistic at all. We see a close-up of Derain's face painted in red with hints of yellow and green. His head is outlined with bold, black brushstrokes. Derain didn't really look like this, but what we are presented with here is the artist's vision of his sitter. Fauvists represent a very important chapter in the history of modern art. They paved the way towards abstract art, but the ways in which they used non-naturalistic colours also influenced German expressionists heavily. They created many fascinating, colourful paintings that are often a pleasure to look at, especially on a grey, rainy day. Hey Muses, so what do you think about Fauvism? Who's your favourite Fauvist? And what kind of effect do Fauvist paintings have on you? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and podcast for more great content like this one. Finally, find us on Instagram for your daily dose of culture from Curious Muse.